Inflation is still far too high, so that's not a good thing. Inflation rose 0.5% in January, more than expected, up 6.4% from a year ago. Now, if you're looking at just that headline, it does seem like it's quite bad. But here's the thing. Compared to our high, which was back in June of 2022, inflation CPI was reading at 9. So we have been coming down from 9%. Now, core inflation, unfortunately, has not gone down that much. Core inflation back in June was 5.9%, and now we're only at 5.6%. So core inflation, actually, we only went down about 0.3% since June, but overall CPI headline inflation has been coming down from 9% down to 6.4%, which is pretty good overall if you think about it, but still 6.4% is still far too high. Now, why the markets are reacting and kind of iffy right now, not knowing which direction to move, is because investors and Wall Street, they're trying to adjust if this is a good thing or not, because last month, I know it's hard to see, but I'm moving up a little bit here. Last month, overall CPI was 6.5%. Okay, so we went from 6.5% down to 6.4%, which means we still went down month to month 0.1%. And as for core inflation, we went from 5.7% down to 5.6%. So overall, both core and headline inflation both went down by 0.1%. What stood out the most? Well, this right here stood out a lot. I'm highlighting it here. There's a lot to see, but energy services, the biggest one is utility piped gas service, went up 6.7%. It's a huge rise. I don't know why piped gas service, I'm assuming like natural gas, went up almost 7% in January. And there's the market bell. Best bell in the industry. So overall, that brought up energy services up quite a bit. Also, energy went up. Gasoline went up about 2.4% after falling 7% in December. So look at that. We fell 7% and then went up 2.4%. So obviously, that brought the energy sector up a little bit. Food is still on the rise. A lot of you guys know, like, things like eggs are still very expensive. And then new car sales, used car sales, commodities overall went up, and shelter also went up. So shelter right here, 0.7%. Transportation services went up 0.9%. So I think the biggest thing is energy with gas service, and then energy itself, meaning like fuel and gasoline went up. But then, you know, if you look at everything pretty much went up. We didn't see any significant declines, really. Used car prices went down 1.9%. Okay. Fuel. Okay, so fuel went down 1.2%, not counting gasoline, which is strange. Like motor oil, I don't know what that's measuring. Gasoline went up, but fuel went down. I don't know, diesel maybe. No, that should be. I don't know if that counts under gasoline, but I mean, basically January showed everything went up, and that's not good. That's not good overall. Well, as for Bitcoin, yesterday was one of the biggest withdrawal dates so far. $130 million worth of Bitcoin, and approximately 6,000 Bitcoin removed from the exchanges just the day before the CPI announcement. I wonder why. Well, maybe there is no reason other than people deciding to self-custody their own crypto, right? Recently, we had a lot of FUD about staking, now FUD about stablecoins. Maybe people just want to self-custody their own Bitcoin. That could be a good reason for it. But overall, if we've been like tracking all the Bitcoins on the exchanges, well, the reserves have been getting smaller, right, across all exchanges. And there's more and more being withdrawn every single day, pretty much every single day. So overall, what does this mean? There's going to be a supply crunch in the future. That's what it means. There's going to be more demand than supply, and then you know what happens after that. But that's quite a lot yesterday. Also, percent of supply last active 1 year ago, we're approximately at 67%, and this number continues to go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, right? Part of this is because so many people are withdrawing their Bitcoin. And when you withdraw it from the exchanges and it's sitting in your own self-custody wallet, well, that means you're not going to trade it. That means it's just sitting there. So the holders continue to DCA and HODL even more. And that is why the percent supply last active 1 year, and then you go 2 years and 5 years, 10 years, they're all sky high at all-time high levels right now. So supply crunch is coming. Prediction of where Bitcoin is going, right? I guess a lot of charters are looking at previous support levels, previous ranges, right? We're definitely in that range under or between 24,000 and about 18,000-ish, right? But 24,000, we were not able to break it a couple times. Once back in around August, September timeframe of 2022. One recently, right? But it's just a matter of time. We retest it and break it and continue higher. And of course, this is looking at a bigger scale, a macro scale of Bitcoin, going back to 2015, 2019 versus now, right? We have formed a golden cross, and also this one talks about this black semicircle underneath, right? Basically, like instead of a V-shaped recovery, we're talking about U-shaped recovery. And when you're buying into U-shaped recovery, leads to good things. Some people have asked about ordinals, and you know this is causing some controversy. So this is a collection of NFTs that's stored within sats, stored within the Bitcoin ledger, right? And a lot of Bitcoin maxis do not like this because they don't want the ledger to be filled with pictures and text and NFTs. And it's going to take up a lot of space. It's going to cause congestion, right? But then there are others that feel like this is good. This is going to bring more attention to Bitcoin. This is bring another use case, I guess, for Bitcoin, being outside a store of value, medium transfer, but also a chain that can store data. In this case, NFTs, right? There's a big debate between like several parties. But anyways, it does seem like this project is gaining a lot of momentum and there's more and more being minted. But right now, the thing is, there's no wallet that actually supports it. I guess you can't really see it in any of the wallets, and it's really hard to trade. So, you know, there's things that still need to be worked out. But overall, this is why, you know, creating NFTs on Polygon or Ethereum is much easier and more user-friendly because all the dApps and everything has been made already for this, and it's still being created on Bitcoin. So it's just something interesting to think about.